welcome everybody to One Line Promotions Podcast, Episode 6. I'm with Yuli, the Grizzly Fernandez. What's up, Yuli? How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing good. Training. How you doing, Danny?
Everything great. So, talk a little about yourself.
No, what's not to know? Train full time. I live and die for fighting. It's something that I really enjoy doing. Besides that, I work on just personal training. Running my business, which is like interior and exterior design. And no, it's not gay. But, besides that, just living a cool cat life, doing what I love to do.
Nice. All right, so let me ask you, how long you been training for?
Well, I've been wrestling since, I want to say, middle school, full high school. Right out of high school, I just got straight into training. And from there, it's just been day in, day out.
What do you place in wrestling? Did you place anywhere? Like, did you do states, you do regionals?
Nothing big. I lost in the finals of regionals, but I was a little bit of a bigger boy back then. I was a 195er, so it wasn't easy.
And you compete now at?
155.
Do you make a big weight cut, or is like?
I usually walk at like 75, 78 now. It's been a little bit of a science to it, but I figured it out. I think back then it was more. I would work like a full-time job, so if I was working like morning shifts or night shifts, I wasn't training full-time. So I would either just do like my night training or my morning training. So it was never like the full, what do you call that?
Go for it.
The full like training camp experience, like putting everything together. So it was never fully complete. But now that I put everything together, it's a little bit different. Learning how to cut the weight, knowing what to eat. It's all a little bit different.
Okay. Well, this is One Line Promotion, so I want to talk to you about jiu-jitsu. All right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how long you been doing jiu-jitsu for?
Been doing jiu-jitsu now for solid 6 years, going on 7.
6 years, under who?
Ray Fendora. Freedom Fighters.
Nice. Shout out to Freedom Fighters. And let me ask you, you're an MMA fighter, so you have to put some work on other things, not just jiu-jitsu. So how much do you train jiu-jitsu a week? So you have to still put boxing, kickboxing, wrestling.
I do the full curriculum now. That's the word I was looking for. Curriculum. I do full training, I do boxings in the morning or kickboxing, and the full curriculum usually changes, so we'll do like the technical MMA in the morning. Jiu-jitsu will always be Monday through Friday. Monday and Wednesdays we'll do gi. Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays we'll do no gi. Saturday mornings will be like a fundamental class. Usually right after the jiu-jitsu classes we just go straight into MMA again.
Okay.
So I want to say 5-6 times a week.
Okay. Then do you like do you put like when you have competition in grappling, do you put it like do you pause the other things, or you just keep doing everything as an MMA fighter you have a schedule?
Yeah.
Like you have a schedule a week. You have like your wrestling days, your kickboxing days, and you try to do them all. Especially as a pro training, you have specific days what you do Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But when you have a grappling tournament or a super fight, do you put all those things in pause and you just do nothing but grappling?
No, so I kind of keep everything at 100%, like
okay.
Speed with everything. I like to just keep the full training montage in effect. Like I don't like to stop and put a pause on anything. I feel like everything's going to help one way or another, whether it's cardio,
all right.
The scenario that it puts me in. If we're training MMA, it's still going to end up in a grappling scenario.
Okay.
So it just puts myself in a better position to know where I'm at.
Okay. But now when it comes up to jiu-jitsu, do you put like a strength and conditioning into it too?
Yeah, I
know we do it as an MMA fighter. We do that.
Yeah,
I have to put strength and conditioning.
Have to.
But like when you go and compete on just grappling, do you put strength and conditioning into it?
I do. I lift weights Monday through Friday.
Because some people just like to grapple. That's their cardio. That's everything they do. They just want to grapple, go for runs. I still feel that you have to do conditioning like lift higher.
I do.
Sledgehammer, sprints, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I do my sprints after every sparring, so Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then I'll lift my weights all in between, like my morning and my night training. So Monday will be like biceps and triceps. Tuesdays and Thursdays are legs. Wednesdays is shoulders and back. Friday's chest. I like to just be able to touch up on every muscle.
Nice.
Have to.
So let me ask you, how often do you compete? Like in not just MMA, I'm talking about jiu-jitsu. Like how often do you compete? Because you, like I said, you have an MMA career. So how much do you put in like jiu-jitsu competitions a year compared to your MMA career?
So I feel like as far as competition, I try to stay as active as possible. I think it's been a very busy year for me. I fought twice, and then all in between, I think I've done 2 jiu-jitsu competitions and three combat jiu-jitsus this year.
Two this year. One was in December of last year.
Yeah, we got Amy in the back. She's helping us out right here.
Helping us, the nerves are ticking. But yeah, I just try to stay as busy as possible. I don't believe in like the off time. So I came from wrestling, so there was always off season.
Okay.
So you just got to stay working. There's always something to perfect and a craft to just better.
And like you said, you come from wrestling since middle school and high school. You know what I mean? So since little, because I know how I know.
Yeah.
I didn't do wrestling growing up in high school, nothing like that. But I've wrestled through the academies, and I met a lot of wrestlers. And one thing they always talk about is work ethic, discipline, and a lot of hard work. So you had this since little, right? Did that help you to do everything you're doing now? Like, do you feel your wrestling since little helped you to be where you are, like with your work ethic, your discipline?
It's helped, but like as a kid growing up, you make mistakes. And I think that kind of goes towards like some weight cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a science to it, I was figuring it out. That growing up as a kid, didn't like eating veggies, didn't like doing certain things. So it was just figuring it out little by little. But the idea to just always work and push yourself to the point where you feel fatigue, like that's where you're gonna find the hard work. That's where you're gonna push yourself to find like the uncomfort. You got to be uncomfortable in certain situations because when you go to compete, that's what it's gonna be like.
Yeah. You just touched about cutting weight. Do you cut weight for grappling?
No, not for grappling. So I like to tell my coach that when it comes to grappling, I like to just usually go at where I'm walking at. So
what's the difference? Like, what will you cut weight from MMA and not for grappling?
Because I feel like MMA is more like the career that I am chasing, and if you can get to a lower weight while still being able to train and not feel fatigue and make it to the fight, if you can dominate at a lighter weight, why not? It's going to take you a lot farther.
So you're saying that just because of the beating the body takes, you say if I'm going to make that kind of sacrifice, I'll do it for
Exactly.
Mayfair, right?
Exactly.
What about a big jiu-jitsu match? Like,
I'll still do it, I'll still do some weight cuts, if it's not that bad, but like I feel a 155 weight cut for a jiu-jitsu match, I would rather just stray away from. Like I like to feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm doing jiu-jitsu. So anything from like 170 to 185, I like to just venture off right there and play with.
Which you did compete jiu-jitsu at 185, and then you do your combats at 175.
Yeah.
You see, we got me with the facts. Right, we got me with the facts already. So let me ask you, who's your favorite grappler?
That's a tough one.
I'll tell you mine. Me growing up watching, it was Marcelo Garcia. Of course, my favorite grappler is my coach.
How old are you, Yuli? How old are you?
24. Turning 25.
2036. I'm 36.
Of course,
We have such a
that's your
huge,
favorite
we have
grappler.
such a huge
No, I
gap,
know who
man.
he is.
You know,
I know
huge
who he
gap.
is.
You like Marcelo who? Funny how like by the time you probably met jiu-jitsu, Marcelo was already like on his way out, not really competing like that. So I watched him compete. I remember me looking at him and being like, oh, this guy's great.
I think what were like favorite was.
You may not have one, it's fine, but
Yeah, I wouldn't like if there's someone that like you said, like I'm gonna look up to my coach. Like I think that's a great man. That's like to see him still compete, but I'm not gonna be an ordinary guy that's gonna say Gordon Ryan.
Because I don't even watch. I do watch him, but I don't watch him like that.
It's more like okay, like I'll acknowledge it.
He is great.
He's great. I'll give him his crown,
Yeah.
But as far as like jiu-jitsu, I want to say like my coach. It's the way like I look up to him, like a father figure, a mentor, the mentality he carries on his shoulder.
Yes.
It's different.
Nice. So, what's your favorite submission?
Favorite submission. I've been getting a little bit happy with the feet. I've been like inside heel hooks and like reaps. I've been getting a little crafty with my legs. But up top, I would say like a rear naked choke or a Kimura has been coming to me a lot.
Okay. But like, are they like your, because there's a difference between your favorite submission and then the most
Like your
effective one.
go-tos?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I have some bread and butters, and I have someone that I just really like them, and I force them sometimes.
Okay.
I
bread
will
and
force a move just because I like it so much, compared to like, but you're more efficient with this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Bread and butter would have to be the Kimura.
The Kimura?
Yeah.
And like, well, from where? Like use a.
From like a full mount.
From full mount. Okay.
Full mount, and then I gotta kind of like to launch myself back into like a body lock.
Okay. All right.
And just finish right there.
I like the Kimura. I like to use it more for like the sweep. And try to take the back. Like I like to take the back with it. I don't, you know, it's a strong man. It's a strong move. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. You're not using someone. You're not using legs.
No.
You're using all.
But the whole body's gonna follow with it.
It's true. Where are you with your MMA career?
Just closed out the MMA amateur chapter.
Okay.
Looking to touch the pro canvas now. I've been trying to get in contact with Titan. AFL reached out. I had a debut possibility with Rise, but you know things didn't align, and you know behind the scene things just didn't coordinate.
So you're looking for your debut.
Looking to debut, you know, hopefully on a same canvas that the guys are on. You know, whether it's Combate, Titan, maybe AFL. I would have jumped on the October 21st card, but Jacob's fighting on that same card. We don't want to have all our coaches split up.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I was looking to maybe debut this year. I was trying to finish off the year with that one and then Worlds for jiu-jitsu, but probably gonna have to debut January, February.
Okay.
See what I can find.
So 2024.
2024 for sure.
So from here on, just train and just get ready for 2024.
Yes, sir.
And in your MMA fights, because it's different too.
Yeah.
In your MMA fights, what jiu-jitsu you bring to the table? It's different. I don't go for leg locks like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't go for leg locks like that in MMA fights. I can't. There's a lot of things I can't go. I don't go for bicep slicers. I get hammer fist quick. You know what I mean? So, what jiu-jitsu you bring to the cage?
I think when it comes to the cage and like an MMA background in the cage, I do like to work a lot of like my wrestling. There's been certain fights where I don't bring it out, and I think it's just more like an experience thing, you know, where you're learning what you do in the cage when it comes to that. But I like double legs to setting up to maybe like an arm bar. I can attempt a triangle at times, but usually I haven't brought it out so much. What's brought me like success in maybe my MMA fight, both of my submissions have been rear naked chokes. So I would say maybe one of those, you know, a safe high percentage move.
Okay. Because I normally like to me like I don't have a submission yet in my record, but I use a lot of positioning. You know what I mean? When it comes to my jiu-jitsu and MMA, I use a lot of positioning. You know what I mean? I would look for the submission, but in jiu-jitsu, I could see where I could be more free to be
you
things.
don't have punches coming out.
Exactly.
It's different.
Yeah, it's completely different. Which I want to go there next. All right, because you competed for White Lion 4, 5, 8, 10, and 11. You've been for 5 events. Right? Yes. Yes. Your first one was a jiu-jitsu match. Second one too. But your last 3 fights, 3 matches have been combat jiu-jitsu. Will you be successful? You're 3-0.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Would you guys call that a fight or a match? It is combat jiu-jitsu.
I would call it more of a fight.
Consider it a fight?
Yeah, I consider it more of a fight than a grappling match called a fight.
Yeah, I would say it's closer to a fight than anything, because like I'm not coming to these to look to submit you. Like we know the rules to the combat jiu-jitsu. It's full open palm, but you can still kind of roll in your fingers, and a palm is still a hard part of the body. With a full force coming behind it, it's a punch. It's a street fight.
Yeah.
That's a street fight.
So okay, there. In the combat jiu-jitsu, MMA, you feel like gives you a lot of experience to go into those kind of matches, right?
Definitely.
Right?
It's such a comfortability when you don't have like 4-ounce gloves raining down on you.
Because I feel like some guys that do combat jiu-jitsu, they only do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They don't really experience MMA. So what happens that to me, somebody is very successful in combat jiu-jitsu and doesn't really have experience in MMA, is because your jiu-jitsu just that high of a level. You could control a position, the body just started doing your thing.
Yeah.
But I seen you in your matches, and you get to hit them through the scrambles, which only you could do that when you have MMA experience. You know what I mean? Because one of your last match, for example, he was trying to get back up.
Yeah.
And as he's getting up, you're already hitting him behind the armpit, under the armpit, right here, like that. Only MMA fighters kind of know how to do that, and especially because normally another grappler will just try to control the back.
Yeah.
If I put the hooks in, or just control first, and just take control. Like you will just grab one arm, with the other one you're already hitting him. You know what I mean? Like, so do you feel like MMA just gives you such a huge advantage? Like it will have to take like someone with just so much probably more experience doing just pure jiu-jitsu to be able to counter that. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think there would definitely have to be like another type of MMA fighter in that realm, because like coming from MMA, it's a good background to really help with that. You know, you're not getting hit with full-on gloves. But I'm looking at TKO or knockout. I'm not here to do jiu-jitsu more. So if we're gonna do a super fight, that's combat jiu-jitsu, let's focus on more of the slaps, and that's what people want to see when it comes to that. If not, we can just do a regular super fight. But I would say the MMA definitely helps a lot. You're more calmer. The worst that's gonna happen is a few slaps. You can pretty much work the
I don't
position.
think you've been slapped.
I've probably been tapped like two.
But I'm saying slapped in those 3 combat jiu-jitsu. I don't think you've been slapped yet.
No, I haven't been slapped.
You've been slapped in everybody.
The first guy, what was his name?
Oh yeah.
Vieira.
Oh.
Vieira. He like got like a light one in like my guard, but it was like close guard. Like it was one of those like little like small pounders.
Okay.
And then the same thing with Leo. It was like in the guard.
It was. Okay, so you did get hit a little bit.
Like a little tap.
Yeah, but I just haven't seen like that big.
Nothing to like have damage. But the thing is like,
yeah.
if I take a slap, I'm only gonna come out a little more angrier.
Yeah, that would be very
That's when the grizzly comes out.
That's when okay, all right, I got slapped. Let's go.
And like, so you feel combat jiu-jitsu, it's kind of like it meets in the middle with like MMA a little bit. Like, like MMA is full contact.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is only grappling. Then you got combat, which is like a little bit, but not really, because you're standing up. You're not really throwing anything at each other. How do you feel about combat jiu-jitsu? Like, how do you really feel about it? Some people don't like it. Some people don't like it. Some people really like it. To be honest, like when you're watching it, especially if maybe the match before was a little boring.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a lot of pulling guard and hugging, and nobody was really interested. And then this comes in and bah, you start hearing the slaps. You start seeing a little violence, and people like that. You see the crowd gets crazy when you start seeing a little violence. So like, how do you feel about combat jiu-jitsu?
I enjoy it. I think it's a cool experience. It's something else to try, and it keeps you kind of like warmed up and busy as to like MMA, like it's a good way to work your ground and pound. All you really got to do is just add in the gloves, but it's a good way to kind of mix in everything besides kicks or like stand-up boxing, I guess to say. Yeah. Like you have to force a takedown, and then from there it's kind of like training ground and pound. So I think that's a good thing to kind of work on, because like that was one of my holes when it came to MMA. Like I would just get held a lot, like when it comes to like groundwork. So I think it's a better way to learn how to posture up, rain down haymakers and finish.
Okay.
But as far as that, I really enjoy it. I think it's like the closest thing I would say to fighting besides MMA. So like, why not just stay busy doing them?
I used to argue with Amy about that it's just hard to TKO somebody in combat. You said it happened. Happened like a year ago? Well, a year ago, she sent me a video.
With Leo and that fight sports guy?
Well, I sent them a video.
That was, no, but I'm talking about that guy goes out. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about someone gets in and be like, there's too much violence here already. Right, it's more like someone really got hit to a point that really, yeah.
That's what I was trying to do with this last one, I swear.
Please keep trying.
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm like, I'm figuring it out where I'm like, okay, I know which one's gonna work.
You got called out for combat jiu-jitsu super fight. Is actually teammate of mine, Lucas Brito. want to get your opinion.
Oh, you're that MMA Masters?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I actually found out today too, so I didn't know.
I think it's gonna be a dope
How
experience.
do you feel about it? You
I'm
know,
excited.
there's a I got this on MMA. I think he's 2-0.
Yes?
I think he's 2-0. If I'm not wrong, I think he's 2-0. And
Pro?
jiu-jitsu.
Pro or amateur?
Pro.
I think pro. You know
Well,
what? You're
well-
right. I don't know if it's pro.
Hold on, hold on.
I do believe it's pro.
Because he is from Brazil. Not that I'm discrediting him, but I'm not discrediting him, but I don't know if it's 2-0 amateur or pro, and I would really like to see those fights.
No, I don't really know. To be honest.
And I don't even think they have amateur in Brazil.
I have no.
I think it's just straight.
It might be like no shin
I'll be
guards.
honest, I
Probably,
just heard it from
and
someone
If
one time and
anybody
said, I don't think he's
knows,
2-0.
please
I went with that. And I mean, I went with someone telling me, oh, he's 2-0. I haven't even asked him myself, are you really 2-0?
Yeah, I mean 2-0 or not, it's.
But regardless, what I'm
two
saying, like, you
fights.
both will have, if he does, you both have MMA experience, right?
Yeah, he's been probably hit. He's been hit.
Exactly. So, like, have you seen him grapple before?
I think what bracket was it that he did? That
He-
175.
it was the brown belt bracket or something.
I gotta restart
He-
this now.
He had the finals with Cade. I remember that. It was Cade?
No. I'm not good with names.
No,
It says brown belt.
No, I know, but I can't remember the name. It's been already a couple of events already. But I think it was with Cade that he did the finals and he won that finals, I think.
But to answer that question, yeah, like I was there like in the back when he was like warming up. You know, I've been in his presence. You know, I know who he is.
Right.
Full respect to him. You know, I know he's a black belt. But I think that's just another challenge for me. You know, going into like Worlds for December. You know, like why not challenge myself to see like if I can beat a black belt.
Exactly.
You know, especially one that's calling me out.
Exactly. I was able to go there. Do you feel different when there's a call out?
I feel like it's not that I want to say that it puts pressure, but I think it brings a little bit more excitement. Like he's seen what I've done, so
Someone wants to hunt you. So you
yeah,
feel
it's a bigger target on your back.
Okay.
And I don't think it's more pressure because I do good like under pressure. I think at this point already, I've worked my way into that. But it's more not because you hate the person in front of you, but you know you love the person behind you. And I know Ray's gonna be behind me chewing my ass out if I don't win that. So I'd be more afraid of him than Lucas. But we're already working a game plan with him. We're working with some black belts, and we're gonna see what's up. You know.
Shout out to Ray. I mean, I've been knowing Ray for a very long time. We were neighbors for like 5 years.
Yeah?
Great person, yes. I don't think he ever told. Yeah, we were neighbors for like 5 years.
The one that's like in Kendall.
When he had that wolf, I always say he had like a wolf. I don't know if it was
Yes,
legal or
folks, he
illegal,
said wolf.
but he had a wolf, a big dog. It was like a wolf.
Yeah.
Ask him about his wolf. It was he used to live by the lake.
Yeah,
we shared the
it's like
same lake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it was. But he's a very passionate man.
Yes.
I mean, he's really,
You think he brings
devoted to
his
you
heart to
guys. I could really see it. You know what I mean? He's very emotional. You can
Yeah.
see when you guys compete, he's really
I feel like he
into it.
he competes through us.
Yeah.
You know, like I know he just competed not too long ago, but he is going through some current surgeries. He's redoing his shoulders, but you know, like we're the closest thing to him competing through it, like us. You know, like on the mat, having that feel that like everything you've taught, it's getting displayed in front of you, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And do you like does something like I said? You know, some people have coaches that they just coach. You know what I mean? They don't really compete no more. Seeing him compete at his age, kind of like
I think it's what better way to lead than by
Exactly.
leading in the front.
yeah.
Like showing your team like I'm still doing this with you guys. Like it's not just you. I think that's awesome.
Nice.
Like you can be a leader from the back, but I'm gonna follow like the person in front.
Of course, the head of the snake.
The head of the snake.
Yeah. It always starts from there. I always say that starts from there, and like So let me ask you, what's next?
Or as of right now, that combat jiu-jitsu. Call me up for a debut. The timing is right. I'm there, and after that, finish with Worlds and try to finish with a purple belt around my waist.
There you go.
And then from there, just try to make a bang next year in the pros. I would like to be a little bit active, try to get like 4 fights in.
4 fights in pro fights?
4 pros.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want next year to be a pretty busy year in the pro scene. I want to try to really put my pen on the map.
Okay. How you see yourself like in all those fights? TKOs or submissions?
I've definitely perfected as a fighter. I think any fighter would say the same. Like you learn a little bit more about yourself when you're competing. Definitely some finishes, if not some subs. You know, that we're staying busy with the jiu-jitsu, evolving, training boxing, training kickboxing, just perfecting the craft. So I think I'm putting it all together, and it's really starting to just glue. So either a finish, a sub, or a bloody war coming out of that third round.
Do you you're won by submissions before, right?
Yeah.
And you won by TKOs before, right?
So
have you won by a finish?
I don't think I won by not by a knockout, not by a TKO. Almost.
Have you won by decision because you're beating him striking?
Yeah.
Okay. What's more satisfying for you? Finishing a fight?
Finishing a fight. You never want to let it go to judges. I think at least anybody in this community knows that judges kind of fuck us at this point.
Okay.
You know, like, I think they need to get to the point where, like, judges are, like, retired MMA fighters or people that really know the game and they didn't just study it on paper.
Yeah. They have a little course that they gotta take, which is crazy.
They didn't have past experience.
Yeah, they don't have experience. They just have a little course that they're going to take. That they get their license and it's what it is. Yes. That's what I heard. Okay. Just saying. That's what I heard. I want to say Danny's saying this.
You can't come at us.
I'm just saying this is what I heard. All right. So it's not like Danny's, he's the source of this information. No, that's what I heard.
No leads.
Exactly. Completely different. And for example, for me, I'm gonna give you an example. You already said you won by submissions. I have not won by submission yet. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people it's the opposite. They want to look for the knockout.
That was like my problem.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Some people looking for knockout, and I'm in the opposite part of it. I'm looking for the submission. You know what I mean? Because I've been a black belt jiu-jitsu in 6 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I just can't find it. You know what I mean? I've gone for it, squeeze, and then nothing. And then you still have to fight through that time after you squeeze that guillotine when jiu-jitsu, once you squeeze hard,
you're gonna blow your arms out.
You could do that, you know what I mean? So you have won already by submissions, all right? So how was that feeling finishing a fight with a submission? I don't know what that feels like.
It feels good. It's like knowing that you put the work in and it paid itself back, but knowing that it didn't go to the judge's scorecard, like you had full control of that fight, like you controlled the outcome, and they can't go around saying like, look, like, I won this and that, or the judges robbed me. It's like, no, like, you physically tapped out. You tapped your way out of this fight.
Okay. That's cool.
Guys, show up, show out. It's going to be a good match. We got some stuff in the works. Training's getting put in. Don't miss it. Might just get that knockout coming.
Hey man, thank you for coming.
Thank you,
it's
Dan.
not gonna be the last time we're gonna have you again. Right?
No, I'm back.
Thank you for coming and taking your time. Yeah. Yo, oh my God. Please, edit that part, please.
He didn't hear it.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
All right.